also joined by the Chief of the Hampton Rescue, Chief Mall, as well as Mark Eggeman, the Search and Rescue Coordinator for the Virginia Department of Emergency Management. Before we begin, on behalf of the entire Hampton Police Division, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of our partner agencies that assisted in this search. This extensive list includes the Hampton Division of Fire and Rescue, the FBI, the Virginia State Police, the Hampton Sheriff's Department, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, the Chesapeake Division of Fire and Rescue, the Hampton Roads Incident Management Team, Suffolk Fire and Rescue, Cape Charles Police Department, York County Police and Fire, Tidewater Search and Rescue, the Pocosin Police Department, William and Mary Police Department, Virginia Marine Resources Commission, the Chesapeake Corrections Response Team, Virginia Beach Corrections Response Team, and Hampton City Schools Transportation.
And BLM 757.
We would also like to acknowledge the overwhelming amount of citizen volunteers that aided us in this search, as well as the many citizens and businesses that provided donations of food and supplies. Your assistance means the world to us, and you have helped more than you will ever know. At this time, please welcome Chief Talbot to the podium.
Okay, again, I'm Mark Talbot. I'm the police chief for the Hampton Police Division. I'd like to echo Sergeant Williams' comments, thank our partner agencies, thank the public for all of their support. Without them, we would not have been able to travel as far as we've been able to travel in this investigation at this point. This is easily one of the most comprehensive investigations that I've been a part of, and it will continue to be. I just like to remind everybody, we are all assembled here on behalf of 40-year-old Cory Bigsby. Cory Bigsby was reported missing by his father on January 31st at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Cory Bigsby, who is a 43-year-old male, called 911 and reported that his 4-year-old son, Cody, was missing. Mr. Bigsby reported that his son was missing from his home on Renelec Drive here in the city of Hampton. The Hampton Police Division responded, including our patrol division and our detective bureau as well. We immediately began searching inside and outside of the residence. Following our search of the residence and search of the surrounding area, we immediately contacted our partner agencies and deployed as many resources as we possibly could on that first day. That has continued up until today. While we were searching, Mr. Bigsby and his children were transported to our detective bureau to help us with the investigation. Mr. Bigsby ultimately, through the investigation that we conducted, was arrested and charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect. This was based on his report of leaving his children home alone. He reported that he left home alone his 5-year-old, his 4-year-old, and his 2-year-old twins. This was reported to have occurred on numerous occasions. He reported that it was too much of a burden to bring his kids along with him. Our investigation is not over. It will not end with that arrest. In fact, in some ways, our investigation is going to start and become more intense now. Our partners, in particular, our partners with the FBI, have provided us with an extensive amount of forensic data for us to review and process and follow up on. That will take an extended period of time. We have many interviews to conduct. We still have areas to search, and we have many leads to follow. We will not stop here with this arrest. With that, do you have any questions?
Hey, Chief, you had said that, well, I'm trying to find out, can you say when was the last time Codi was actually seen by someone outside of his father or his family? I say that in part because the court records indicate that on January 25th, one of the charges pertained to leaving him alone on January 25th. I don't know if there's evidence that outside of the father for that, or what is the evidence that you have? When was the last time he was last seen, I guess is the main question.
I obviously won't speak to the evidence that we have specifically. We are still investigating the last time that Cody was seen alive and well by anyone. So if there's anybody out there that might be able to help us with that, we would let you know. The charges that speak to the events that occurred on January 25th are based on what we've done up until this point in the investigation.
Being that there is no Amber Alert issue, would Hampton Police Department be willing to stand behind the Cody Alert that would alert citizens in a local area of a kid going missing, even if it just starts locally and expands from there? Would the Hampton Police Department support something like that?
I'd like to continue to focus on Cory Bigsby as the primary focus right now. At some point moving forward, I think there will be a lot of time to evaluate whether or not we do the right thing to keep all kids safe. I will say Amber Alert is a great tool. It was created in 1996. In 2022, we're all connected. I don't think that we had any difficulty getting the word out about this missing child, and to this day, we're not having any difficulty with that.
Chief, one of the biggest questions that people are having in the community is, where is Cody's mother? Is she being questioned? What can you tell us to kind of put some of these questions that folks have to bed as to why she's not out here scouring and searching for her son as well?
I appreciate everybody who's concerned and has those types of questions. I think we should all have questions when a 4-year-old child goes missing. We know where his mother is. We've spoken to her, and she has answered our questions.
Is there someone else that could be involved in the disappearance of Cody that you're looking into that maybe worked with him? Is that a possibility that you're looking into?
We've found no evidence to support someone else.
Chief, yeah, with the other back, I just have a quick question. Are you guys looking outside of the state of Virginia? Can you see some areas in DC and some area focused just Hampton, Virginia?
Certainly, we're interested in any information that would lead someone to believe he's outside of the city of Hampton or the state of Virginia. We're certainly interested in that. Again, we have no information or facts or reasonable belief that that's the case.
Don't say no to Virginia also. I don't know.
Is that a question?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Chief, do you have?
Still,
You go ahead.
Chief, is it still your belief that Cody Bigsby can be found alive? Do you still believe that 5 days after he was reported missing?
I will tell you that
You going
we
next?
are
You going
continuing
next?
to
Okay, you
search
going
and
next? Yeah.
hope that
Thanks.
we can bring Cory Bigsby home. With each day that passes, we become more and more concerned, and we lose a little bit more hope.
Chief,
Obviously, the longer we go, the more tragic it feels.
Chief, is there any reason y'all was doing searches at Harris Teeter's today? What about Starbucks and what about the
Yes.
Just came in.
Where we search, we have a reason to search.
Chief, is there any evidence that you'd found that Child Protective Services has intervened in, Cody Bigsby's family or followed up? Like, I know that there's a.
It would be inappropriate for me to answer that question.
Why do law enforcement only allow 50 citizens a day to assist, and would that be a regular practice and not let more of the community assist? Because there were hundreds of people that wanted to help, and they were turned away from helping. So is that going to be a regular occurrence if a 4-year-old goes missing? There's only 50 citizens allowed to assist?
We encouraged the public participation. We had a tremendous amount, and we continue to get a tremendous amount of support from the public. We asked for a specific number of citizens to help us on a particular day. we didn't want to extend our resources beyond what we could handle. The public is always welcome to go out, check their yards, check their trash cans, check areas that they may know, recheck what you know that we did. We are certainly not sitting in some space where we want to prevent people from helping. But we got a significant amount of public support, which we appreciate.
Chief, is Cory Bigsby still cooperating and answering your questions at this time?
He is in a jail cell right now.
Chief, why was it so hard on yesterday for his lawyer to get into the jail and speak with with the father? Why was the lawyer denied access on yesterday to speak with his father?
Mr. Bigsby is a 43-year-old man who's had a full career in the Army. He retired from a position of authority. He seems to be quite intelligent. He seems to be quite capable. And part of his capabilities seems to be understanding his rights. At no time did he request to see an attorney. Had he made such a request, we would have honored that request.
Do you know, did the children have like a regular babysitter? Who were they in contact with? Where are the other kids now?
We are not aware of a babysitter.
Where are the other children?
They're safe and thriving.
A few days ago, you said abduction was just not what the evidence was pointing to, and abduction usually.
I don't know any who decide at any hour of the morning when it's dark to leave their home. I don't know any that do that. I don't believe that that's what happened this time either.
Chief, allegedly, they say he was not here. Y'all said on news multiple times, he was here voluntarily. It's alleged that he was not here voluntarily. Who was stay here for 4 days and a child missing? Was he held against his will or in custody?
Next question, please.
So that's a yes or no.
Was he held against his will?
Yes or no?
I think
He was held against his will?
I think
You didn't answer.
I'll repeat my response. From earlier. Mr. Bigsby is a 43-year-old man with a full career
Question
in the
again,
United
Chief.
States
Was
Army.
he here voluntarily or was he
I'm
held
gonna finish
here?
my response to this.
Was he here
I'm gonna finish my
voluntarily? It's a
response.
yes or no answer, sir.
He was a capable man who had
Still have to
every
answer the question.
opportunity to ask for an attorney. He did not make such a request.
That was
If
not
he
the
would have
question.
made that request, we would have.
That was not the question.
We have his family here. Can we hear from them? Can we hear from his family? We have his family here. Can we hear from his family? He was held against his will?
Held against his will. He asked to leave and he asked for an attorney. And they told him he couldn't leave and that he didn't need an attorney.
So they held him against his will and they're not telling him?
Exactly.
Okay.
What's your brother?
I cannot answer that question. That would be speculation.
Thank you. I'm the one that
Is we down, is anybody pulling out resources, or it's still going full force? So we have enough resources to keep going.
Keep order in this place, please.
Continue
We allowed to ask questions at the press conference, right?
all the leads.
You gonna hold me against my will next?
Search the areas where we need to search.
All agencies still helping if they can.
Yes, the agencies that have been helping have agreed to continue to help.
Chief, do you have a reason to believe that Codi Bigsby is alive?
Each day, it becomes harder and harder to believe that Codi Bigsby is alive and well.
Chief, can you say when the last time his mother spoke to Cody?
No, I cannot say.
Do you know when the last time?
I do not know.
Has she been asked that question?
It would be inappropriate for me to answer that question.
Chief, I don't know if you can answer this. So when Cory contacted you all that his son was missing, had he returned from one of these situations where he had left the children at home, came home, and Cody was missing, or can you not comment on that?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Hey, Chief, for the record, some people, regardless of their education background, are still not aware that they have a right to an attorney. So that being said, did he at any time was notified that he would have an attorney, but if someone's family hires a lawyer to go see their client, isn't it permissible for the attorney to go see that person or that person?
Sir, again, for everybody, I'm here for a 4-year-old child.
Right.
I'm here for a 4-year-old child. His father was made aware of his rights. His father was absolutely made aware of his rights. We will continue to
That's
do
why we gotta
everything
educate
possible
people.
to find his son, his child, that is permissible and appropriate. We've never taken a step that was impermissible or inappropriate.
Chief, can I ask, you know, a few days ago at a press conference, you said you do not believe that Cody may have gone missing when the 2 a.m. time that was originally put out. Can you say with confidence now that is not when he went missing?
What I said is that the facts that we had didn't match up with what we were being told in a number of cases. So we simply need to investigate more to determine when exactly he went missing.
Chief, for the record, we all are here for the child, but we all are here to also make sure y'all follow the laws that has been constituted. So everybody is required to have a fair trial. And we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until we prove our innocence.
Chief, do you feel like there's a disconnect between the community, law enforcement, and city officials? Because the citizens still haven't heard anything from the mayor. We still haven't heard anything from city council. And you're the chief of police and the city manager. These are who the city looks up to. And a lot of the community feels like there wasn't as much of a sense of urgency for this 4-year-old you keep mentioning as there should be. We feel as if there was a stronger local leadership and every other outlet to try to find this 4-year-old that we have been tirelessly searching for the last 4 days voluntarily. So do you feel as if there is a disconnect between law enforcement, city officials, and the community?
No. We've been supported completely. We've been supported by working on that still needs work. It's a work in progress. Thank you so much. Thank you.
If we could, please ask the family questions. The family is here, so we would like to get both sides. His sister is here, so I don't know if any media is interested in their side, but we are interested in knowing what happened.
Outside, and we was here, and I did videotape while y'all was trying to get his lawyer inside of the courthouse.
Remember, it's for the 4-year-old.
Were you able to get a lawyer inside the house? Inside the courthouse?
And y'all, we're going back to the campsite if y'all want to help search. We're about to start the search again.
It's about 4-year-old. Remember, it's for the 4-year-old.
Did his lawyer request to go in and see his client? Do you feel like your brother's gonna be do you think your brother kidnapped his baby, murdered his baby? Thank you. Thank you, family.
I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna still shot. Okay. I got you. I see where we at now. That's fucked up.
Any questions that they got asked about? They just not saying anything.
Yeah, so they did. No, they saying everything. They saying that he's just saying that he's been held against his will, and that he's been trying to get a lawyer in there. And like I said, that's why we haven't put anything about the father, because we've been trying to look for Cody, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, they're saying that he's been trying to get a lawyer, but getting held against his will. They can't be violating people's rights, you know what I'm saying? And
okay, so now I understand the answer to that question.
Yeah, so I mean, she's saying guilty until proven innocent. Road is right. I mean, like I said, if he was held, he's like voluntarily, and they pretty much tap dancing around the fact that he, you know what I'm saying, well, he didn't ask for a lawyer, so he had specifically verbally say that, so they're pretty much saying he didn't know his rights, which is why we're out here educating people about their rights, because when you get in those situations, and I could have went more into about, look about how in Virginia Beach they just discovered they've been falsifying DNA evidence, coerced testimony from people in rape cases, and they had 5 cases of real life fabricated information that these law enforcement are doing. So like I said, with that's against the law. That's messing people up. And so if they're trying to shake him down or whatever, or hold him and get him to say something he didn't do, that's how people end up in jail for 20 years for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's how, so it's frustrating. So it's frustrating.
There's so many levels to this case, right? So many layers to it, and you're bringing up some really good points that could help us with this case and with future future things that happen in our city or in the 757. So I just want to salute you.
All right, thank you.
Boots on the ground all day.
We heading back to the site now. You text me, my bad. We heading there now. All right, y'all. So we're
Are you guys gonna? I'm recording.
Oh yeah. So we're going right now to put boots back on the ground.
You are?
Yes.
Where do you start and how long have you? Can you give me an idea of the scope?
Yes.
And how many searches that BLM 757? And are you guys working with other organizations, other BLM organizations?
You know, as of right now, it's just been us and the Stop the Violence Guns Down team actually came out to assist us for one of the days. But since Monday, we've been boots on the ground. We were boots on the ground Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today is Friday. So today's the fourth day of us being boots on the ground. And we did 3 shifts a day. So with that, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we've done about 15 shifts, most of them starting at anywhere from 9:30 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning. And we've been ending at 7:30 at night around.
Wow. What are you looking for? Oh,
that's the family.
With you.
It's the family here.
Oh.
What fucking mother don't look for their child?
Exactly.
You know? What? She's never stealed by the police.
They don't understand that,
do nothing.
He's strong. So just because we don't cry don't mean that we ain't in
Keep it real.
And what
the mother did this before. The mother took one of her oldest children from their father in D.C. and moved down here. And he didn't know where the hell the boy was at. So, yeah. So, if they really fucking investigating, they'll know all that.
So we got y'all, man. We about to go back over there now if y'all want to put boots on it. So I've been talking to her. I told her I was going to talk to her. So, man, we know it's more than one side of the story. That's why y'all ain't seen nothing from our end saying nothing. We just been looking. So, man, we definitely appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate it, man. At the end of the day, we want Cody and a fair treatment for Cory as well, man.
And the fact that chief was refusing to answer questions, like, you know what I'm saying, this is a press conference.
It's what they want. It's what they want. It's not right. It should be what they want.
Exactly. They want. So after days, we didn't talk to him. We decided to get him a lawyer.
Right.
I sat in that station all night on Monday till Tuesday afternoon, asking them to see my nephews and my brother, and they kept telling me that I couldn't see him because he was voluntarily answering questions and they didn't want it tainted by the outside. Well, if he's here voluntarily, then why can't I see him to physically know at least he okay? You ain't even got to bring him out to me, just let me see him. Put my eyes on him.
Who stays down there 4 days, don't wash their ass, don't brush their teeth, don't do nothing. And Cory is a neat freak. So he's going to do all of that. So who stays down there 4 days? If I'm volunteer, why the fuck can't look for my son, then come back and give you any information you want?
In that case, and I kept telling, I said, well, if I can't see him, at least let him know that I'm here.
He ain't know that.
So he can know that he's not alone.
I ain't even do that.
They never even did that. They never did it. He said he told them, I got family out here that don't even know what's going on with me. Clearly, you didn't tell him that I was here.
I got a chance to talk to him since they pressed the charges?
Last night was the first night.
After the charges were pressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first night. Last night was the first time we talked to him.
Are you also related to Cory? Are you his brother or?
You can say I'm his brother, but I'm his cousin, but I'm his brother.
Right. Can I get your names?
You're not getting my name because y'all not about to plaster my shit on Facebook and all that. Man, there's too much negative stuff going on with this. People not think about the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, y'all want to look into all the family and you want to pull their background. Like, it just came out that he was retired military.
Right.
Like, nobody said that.
We said that yesterday.
He done fought for this country so many times.
Exactly.
Fought for all of us on terrorism and all that, but nobody said
Being
that.
away from his family, sacrificing his life and the time he could have been. You know,
Huh? Yeah, he's retired 20 plus
with
years.
his family.
20 plus years.
When my mom passed, you know where I had to get in touch with my brother in Afghanistan.
20
when
plus
my brother was killed, I had to get in touch with my brother in Iraq. Like, nobody knows all of that, and you're paying him to be this monster that he's not. Yes, nobody's perfect. I'm not. But he's not a monster.
Tell us who Cory is. Give us an idea of what a great man he is.
The chief of police in his first interview, when he said we have, a person of interest. Who is the person of interest? His parents. But then he said, well, the mom is not from down here, the dad is. So that let you know they was already looking at him before any motherfucker thing. He said it without saying it.
That's the same thing they do to black men in general in the judicial system.
She's not from here, but she frequents the area enough to know her way around.
Exactly.
So yeah, the question to the chief is why she, you know what I'm saying, why she not in cuffs? Why she not facing charges?
How disappointing was it to hear the chief say that he wasn't held against his will?
Very.
Right, because it's a lie.
And you're saying for a fact he was.
For a fact, and I know for a fact he asked for a lawyer.
Did you talk to him directly?
My cousin did.
Okay.
Do you know what the next strategy is or the plan for the attorney to tackle?
That's on the attorney.
That's on the attorney. You can direct that question to him because that's what we're paying him for.
Are you
Right.
satisfied with the attorney?
I'm confident that the attorney is going to do what he was hired to do.
So we're going over the
Tell
search,
us
you know what I'm
how
saying, we'll
Cory
be...
is doing with all of this that's happening.
We don't know how
She
he's
did.
doing. Not verbally.
I think this is the news
Knowing
report
my
that
brother,
said we're
I
doing
know
a
he
show.
hurt.
He messed up mentally, I can tell you that.
I know he wanted to be with his children.
How long were you with the talk?
Maybe 10 minutes.
With today?
What do you think about those charges with abuse and neglect, the 7 counts?
I feel like those charges only came about because he had already retained counsel. If there was no counsel retained, he would still be holding a line saying he didn't volunteer.
I don't know. Are you the same reporter that said BLM 757 makes everything a show yesterday? You had on Brown Boots yesterday?
No.
You didn't have on Brown Boots yesterday?
I didn't say anything about BLM.
She did.
You definitely did, and so
I said something
WTKR.
about BLM yesterday.
757. You had on Brown Boots yesterday, right?
Yeah, but I haven't said anything about BLM. Show me
We had
proof.
4 different people that heard you say it when we were interviewing with
Say
Channel
what?
13 yesterday. That you said we make everything a show and about
I
us.
did not say that.
Oh, okay, so cool.
But thank you for the accusation.
It's not an accusation. Y'all haven't covered anything we did. Y'all part of the problem, not letting stuff go national because y'all don't want to report the stuff we do.
Okay.
Is there an echo out here? Why the fuck you keep saying everything I say?
Your phone. Is that correct? And so, I didn't hear the original part of the conversation, but what do you say to your brother being charged with this count?
I feel like it's bogus. I feel like it's bogus. He's only charged because we retained counsel.
How is he as a father? I mean, he was
Oh, baby. That is so tired.
My brother has always been a great dad. He's a great person. He may look like this big guy, but he has a soft heart. You spoke with your brother on, you and his daughter spoke to him on last night. How is he doing mentally? Is he concerned about where his child is? And what did he say about being stuck in there for 4 days and not able to be out here to help us search for his child? That he was held against his will. That he was held against his will. Do he have any suspicions of where he think his baby may be? That I don't know. I didn't ask. I did not ask. Those are the questions for his lawyer and for whoever else is involved in that case. That I don't know. Let me ask you this, sister, because you're a victim as well. How are you doing? Clearly, not good. Clearly, all these bogus accusations and do what y'all mothers, whatever you gotta do, do it.
What is it that you need from us down here in the Hampton Roads area as far as the community, us advocates and business owners here that are standing with you right now? What is it that you need from us?
Just the support. That's it.
We got you.
We got you.
We
We've
got
been
you.
searching. We've been searching.
And we about to go search again right now.
We're going again today over there. So
But where did you and Cory grow up? Not local, right? Maryland?
It's 12:30. You want to
I
pull
thought it
out?
was
Yeah,
about
let's
Cody,
go.
man. He ain't got nothing to do where he grew up at and all that, man. It's about Cody, man, and the unfair treatment that Cory's getting. Like, where he grew up at,
All right,
it's
guys, so
irrelevant.
we're about to head back to the camp and you put boots on the ground. So if you're able
you
to
gotta
come,
try to figure out
we're
and
heading
say
back to
where
the
he grew up
campsite
at,
now.
and then
we'll
take
be
where he
taking
grew
off
up
at
at
about
and paint
1
another
o'clock.
picture that y'all done already painted. So that's irrelevant. We're not answering that question. So you want to answer that one?
Yeah.
I might let her answer that one.
What about, he was in the Army? Can you say what he did in the Army?
what time is it?
12:30 on the
That's
nose.
irrelevant as well. I'm sure
Well, I
the
know
whole
he said he
police
had a
department.
good role in the Army. So I
He
wanted to-
did, with a very honorable discharge.
So a lot of these questions that you guys are asking, that
Can I ask a
the
question
police
before
chief
we
already
go
know.
there? Before we go there, let me ask you this: how do you feel, as a family member, the attitude and the disposition of Hampton Chief during his press conference?
I feel like he lied.
Down on him.
There were questions that he couldn't even answer, and you know the answer. But why not answer them? Because you know you can't answer them
He was
truthfully.
scared to ask. That's why he was scared.
Exactly. Exactly.
I believe he is.
That's why they try to keep the press conferences with certain people because they know they won't ask certain questions. You know what I'm saying? You know, you answer certain questions, you get the right answers.
It don't even make sense. If family retain a lawyer for you, regardless you ask for one or not, you got to let that lawyer go talk to you. That's right.
And if he did ask for a lawyer,
Because what if the person don't know that the person, somebody retained the lawyer for you? You in the hole.
The lawyer was turned away, man. He was turned away.
How you turn away a lawyer? They got special lawyer and clergy is like.
Lawyer on camera yesterday saying that he was turned away. I was there.
That's
I saw
crazy.
him being turned away.
Then he went to the prosecutor office and they alleged that
They was closed. Nobody was there. So then he had to send an email to them. So once the email came out, that's
Now
when
he in charge.
these charges come. So you got 4 days that you held him in there, no charges, no nothing. Now he get a lawyer. Now there's all these damn charges. Come on, man, cut the jokes, man.
All right, so tell me a little bit about Cody.
All right, well, we're going to search.
We're going to search.
We're going to finish.